Good day, fellas. I hope you are ready for your daily dose of skill. Today I have very exciting news for you. We have night maps in World of Tanks. Well, not in the random battles yet, because I assume they are going to be in the random battles, but for now we have a testing in the game. It's called Arcade Cabinet. All you need to do, you need to click over there and select it, and you are ready to play it. Now, let's talk about the penalties of this game mode, right? Because, I mean, obviously, visually, everything is looking dark and whatnot, so that means it's not the same gameplay as it was before. So if we would take a look at this, our view range is decreased by 35%, well, every and each tank. Faded camo, that means you are getting spotted only for 6 seconds, fellas. Only for 6 seconds everyone is getting spotted. The maximum rendering distance of the vehicles decreased to 465 meters, so pretty much way smaller than it was before. Before was 500 meters plus, if I'm not mistaken. After that, we have a signal range decrease. So, for example, if you on the paper should be able to transmit, let's say, 750 meters with EBR, now you can transmit only 375, if I am not mistaken, right? So this is very, very important thing to highlight. And flash in the night penalty to concealment after firing is increased at 10%. So pretty much if you are a sniper schnitzel, it's easier to spot you after you are firing. Now, I have couple of thoughts instantly. Don't you think in the night maps the light tanks should be significantly more powerful instead of feeling castrated? Because looking into those penalties, I can tell you one thing. It's not worth to play with the light tanks, and it's not worth to play with the tank destroyers. Now, heavy tanks is kind of the meta in this. And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is how I think. For a light tank, you have significantly lower view range. You cannot spot properly, Aka, because your radio range is decreased, and plus on top of that, you cannot transmit your signal that well. And plus on top of that, enemies are spotted significantly shorter. It doesn't make any sense for me, right? So pretty much light tanks, at least by the looks of it, for me personally, they are looking dead in this game mode. Same goes probably for a tank destroyers, unless you are playing for with a big boy tank destroyer, right? This is how I feel like. And now we are going to play some games. We will try to play with EBR. We will try to play with probably some kind of super heavy tank mouse or whatnot to see how the things are looking like. And we will try to play some kind of sniper schnitzel, right? Actually, you know what? I feel like I want to start from the sniper schnitzel. Let's go with a bit of favor, shall we? Fellas, look at this. How does it look like? It looks gorgeous, honestly. It looks gorgeous. And you know what? That's not all. Look at those northern lights. Absolutely amazing. Visually, this looks great. It honestly does. Now, quickly to highlight the things. Fellas, view range is horrible. You cannot see your own PP unless you would play with the light tanks and use the binos. I know it sounds weird when I said, fellas, listen, it's not even that great. Hear me out. Obviously, light tanks, it's not worth to play with them, but in the same time, this is only one idea how I imagine having somehow decent and successful setup, right? That's what I think. Meanwhile, hey, no. That was so close, but not enough. It's okay. Let's try to go on top of the hill. The thing is, looking into the enemy setup looks like it is extremely heavy one. That being said, I think we should be able to find the proper angles to punish them for their mistakes and for their stupidity. That's what I want to believe. That's what I want to believe, fellas. What is this? Okay, blue line, understood. I need this STB dead. STB is dead. Excellent. And now we are crossing like so. That's completely fine. Rhino sniping from the back doesn't really changes anything for us. Let's try to go on top of the hill. Now we are going to have a great time. At least that's what I want to believe. You see those IS-4s? Those IS-4s are pretty much asking to take one for the team. By the way, I can tell you that every single person will need to get used for this. This is very unusual games. I can promise you that. Truly. Extremely unusual ones. Sniping is weird, and sniping is to a certain extent the easiest thing what you can do in this game, right? So sniping looks weird. In the same time, spotting is even more weird than sniping. It is nuts, honestly. It is nuts. But I think to refresh the brain once in a while from the random battles, it's not necessarily bad. But now I have the other question, you know? Will we have this in the random battles? Because if we are going to have this in the random battles, this is going to be very, very, very interesting, and I have a lot of question marks of all of this. Does Mark of Excellence work? How overall people would adapt to all of this? Because once again, it's far away from being casual, and it's far away from being as a standard World of Tanks is, right? It is way, way, way different. Meanwhile, we are going to take our time, and we are going to try to shoot someone who is playing around this area, if obviously we will have anyone who will spot for us. Do I want to go for a blind shot? Answer is yes. Also, in this game mode, kind of camo doesn't matter because everyone is blind as a bat anyways, right? So camo is not so important in this situation. And once again, that being said, I think the meta of this would be super heavy tanks. You are going to be close anyways, you have a lot of armor, good for you that enemies are not spotting you for that long time. Arta has significantly smaller circle as well. Aka, well, by saying significantly smaller circle, I mean Arta won't be able to see you in the other side of the map, and so on, you know? This is the thing, but I can tell you that straight, it definitely feels weird, fellas. But how beautiful that is. Egg tuna, fellas. How beautiful that is. Northern lights all over the place. Wow. I mean, I don't want to shoot tanks. I want to adore how it looks like, how this map feels like overall, right? This is how I feel. And you know what? For the next game, we are going to test Manticore with a Bino setup out of curiosity and for a shits and giggles. How about that? Meanwhile, we're in position. And let's go for a blind shot. Unfortunately, we are not hitting anyone, but that's completely fine. By the way, Wargaming achieved to make games longer. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, since you cannot see shit, since you are kind of blind, Wargaming achieved one thing. The games are significantly slower at this point. Hey, fellas! Well, that's something. Whoever was sitting here, he is not enjoying himself. Okay. We are chilling at this point. In fact, I think enemies will repush this side in a moment, so what I want to do, I want to go on top of the hill just like so. That's what I want to do. Okay, we are feeling all right. Ooh, light tank, hey. Object. Well, here you go. Here you go, fellas. That's all we have for a very first battle, and I am feeling okay with this. I truly do not feel like the tank destroyers like Fava is the right choice in this game. I think the meta is heavy tanks, and with the heavies we are going to play for a last game. But now that's what we have. Let's teleport to the round number 2 with a light tank Manticore with Binos. Let's go. Fellas, round number 2 with Manticore. I have Binos. I never thought I am going to use Binos in the tier 10, but here we are. Look at the beauty of how everything is looking like. Honestly, to a certain extent, it looks like a new game, right? This is how I feel about this. It looks like a new game, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, let's try to be a bit... No, I don't want to be too greedy. I want to take this bush. And I want to wait until Binos will be activated. Let's see. Can we spot something or not really? With Binos working, we can spot something. Watch this. But shooting now is significantly worse, right? Keep this in mind, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. And we are just testing how the light tanks feels like in this. My prediction in the intro, I said the light tanks, I think, is kind of lackluster, right? Let's see, is it going to be the case or not so much? Will I feel like I am the eagle, I'm the most powerful mother trucker in the field, I have a view range, I have a camo, I have everything what I could ever need, you know? Let's see, do I feel this way or not so much? And this is a different build. This is CVS, Optics, and Binos. I know this build is quite a crazy one, but this is what I want to test out. And once again, my thinking process and my whole idea of all this is I think heavy tanks has the most fun because pretty much heavy tank gameplay did not change it whatsoever, you know? And in the same time, I would say view range is not that important here, right? That's what I think. And this is what I am dreaming about and this is what I'm thinking about. Okay, let's see. Can we get a bit more involved like this? Okay, a bit of the drifting, and let's try to spank someone in the ass. M60, you magnificent mother trucker, hi there. At this point, as you can see, we are just simply joining the battle and we are trying to beat the living crap out of the enemies like there is no tomorrow. That's what we want to see and that's what we want to do. Kaboom, right in the ass, and we are going to try to spot the triangles who are sitting in the back at this point. Wow, look at the graphics, fellas. Look how beautiful it looks like. Absolutely gorgeous. Honestly, visually, this game is looking very, very nice and in the same time very different as well. Hi. Kaboom in the face just like this. Vaza is trying to run for his life. I cannot blame him for that for obvious reasons. And we are going to spank him once again now. If obviously we will have a chance to do so. Think about Kempinovka during the night time. I mean... You can't see anything, no one has a view range. You can literally drive to the enemy base. This is how it feels to me, you know? Absolutely nuts, fellas. Absolutely madness. Let's take our time to spank him in the balls. Beautiful. And now we can make a bit of pressure just like so. Very interesting one. Okay, how are you doing this fine day? Good, he is dead, and now let's go for Mr. Leo. I mean, in this game, light tank worked very, very well, and I do not really know, is it because of the setup which I have, right? That being said, is it because of the Binos, or is it because of the light tank being a light tank? I'm not entirely sure about this. But for sure, I can tell you one thing, that it looks weird. It definitely looks weird. Okay, good game, hip hip hooray, we have ourselves pretty much 5,000 plus, and I'm feeling happy, and it actually worked quite okay, but I felt like I definitely needed bonus in this situation, right? So, interesting. In the same time, I want to see what enemy Manticore has done, because I have a feeling enemy Manticore simply went in the middle because, yeah, no one can outspot him, but in the same time, he cannot spot anyone either. And we took the position which is countering that play, right? This is how it looks like. So all in all, 2.5 thousand damage, 2.6 thousand assisting damage. Yeah, okay, interesting. Enemy Manticore, he have done one shot, that's it. I mean, I think a lot of people will struggle to play with the light tanks over there. Anyways, let's go with the heavy tanks, or maybe Bobject. Maybe Bobject to go Trollolo. That's what I think. Bobject it is. Fellas, I hope you are ready for some trolling. Bobject with a full ramming build for a good measure, to have some fun and to enjoy ourselves. So far, this game mode looks very, very interesting, fellas. I'm not entirely sure about all of those penalties, right, what we currently have, but I believe Wargaming is testing the things at this point. And it is weird. It is weird to say that the least, okay, fellas? That's how I feel about all of this. By the way, light tanks, vroom, through the middle, and you know what, we don't care, because they can't even spot us. They literally cannot spot us, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Literally. Absolutely nuts. Okay. First things first, I believe we are going to spank the living crap out of this Bobject. Actually, no, let's go for CS63. Beautiful shot, very, very nice. CS63 is a bit upset and he's a bit angry, but he changed his mind, which I cannot blame him for. And here you go. Bobject is crossing like so. Bobject is dying. I mean, okay, keep this in mind that stats are not considered in this game mode, so people are playing however they are pleased, you know? People are just going in front like there is no tomorrow and just push, 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 push. Let's not think too much. This is how it feels like at this point, and that's fear, I guess. You know, since the stats doesn't matter, or stats simply doesn't count in, you're just having a bit of fun. It's like playing test server where you do not really care about your personal score, you know? This is how it feels like. Okay. Well, remember what I said about the long big games or short games? I changed my mind. I changed my mind, fellas. What do you want me to say? First 2 minutes into the game, it's madness. Everyone is going through the middle of the field without giving a single F about anything. That's glorious, fellas. I mean, I have a feeling people are having fun. This is what I feel, and this is what I think. Let's go for ramming, I guess. 50B. Don't you dare. Maybe E4 ramming? Yeah, that would be absolutely... Leopard ramming. Leo. Oh, Leo. Hey, mate, listen. We need to have a bit of the conversation, if you know what I mean. Nah. A bit of the ramming for a good measure and for a good game, you know? Let's have some fun. Yes, Leo. Let's go for a ride, my man. Let's go for a ride. Okay, so my thoughts of all of this, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Maps are stunning. Maps are looking gorgeous. I have some question marks about the light tanks and overall about the spotting mechanics and whatnot, because I get the point. It makes sense that it's dark, so people cannot see that, well, tanks cannot see that much further in front and so on, so on. I understand this. But in the same time, I do not know how good that is for a game. How many people would actually play light tanks? You know, the skill gap is like significantly higher, and so on. This is what I am thinking about this. Anyways, last game. 3.2 thousand damage, 500 assisting damage. We went in front like crazy mother truckers, and that was a solid 3 minutes game. 3. Tier 10. Anyways, leave your thoughts down below. Do you share the same feelings as I do, or do you think I am misreading something and light tanks is going to be the powerhouse? My prediction is that the heavy tanks, medium tanks are pretty much the way to go, and obviously very fast tank destroyers with a lot of armor like Bobject can work as well. That's what I think, and that's what I want to believe. So, fellas, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed your daily dose of skill, and I hope you had as much fun as I did. Thank you very much for watching, and see you very soon. Skill is out for today. Peace.